It is January 16th, 2025, and I am up to season 7, episode 7 of Grey's Anatomy, the documentary episode. I just finished the documentary episode. And they're married? Why are they married? Like, weren't they broken up during the season 6 finale? How are they married by season 7, episode 2? And Christina's also, like, clearly decompensating, clearly not doing well. I know Meredith tried to stop her from marrying Owen, which, if this had happened, like, 2 seasons prior, I would have been like, this is fast, but okay, let's let them cook. But now that I'm at season 7, and I'm pretty sure that Owen's gonna cheat on Christina with Teddy, and then foist his child upon her, Christina, what are you doing? And she's not doing well as a result of the finale either. And she's just kind of wandering through the halls like a non-surgical ghost. Like, oh, poor girly. Meredith and Derek are trying to have a child after, like, the whole miscarriage thing. Like, they went to the doctor and got themselves checked out. And Meredith has, like, a hostile uterus. So, and Derek seems pretty chill about it. And Meredith is going to go get tested for the Alzheimer's gene. And Derek seems pretty chill about that, too. Like, he actually doesn't want to know if she's going to get sick or not. There was also, like, this competition for all the attendings to try to figure out, like, how to use their money, like the extra money that the chief had for them. Like, I don't know how this hospital is spending money on the shit that they spend money on, and they have $1 million surplus. And then he's like, okay, guys, spend this $1 million surplus. Let's make it a competition. And Derek's whole plan is that he wants to do another clinical trial specifically to cure Alzheimer's because he doesn't know if his wife is going to have the gene, if their kids are going to have the gene. And he's like, people will spend money on this. The $1 million is just going to be a startup fund because people are going to want to see this clinical trial through because Alzheimer's affects everybody. He doesn't win it. He doesn't win the $1 million, though. It actually goes to Owen, who's going to teach everybody how to properly triage people in the middle of a crisis like the season 6 finale, which honestly seems like a better way to spend the money. So Owen W? Kind of like I think as much as I'm willing to say that he sucks, I do think training everybody to be more responsive during a tragedy like that is a good idea because really Dr. Percy died because the elevators didn't work and Bailey couldn't move him. Like they do need alternatives to things like that. So that's fair. Arizona and Callie are moving to Africa. Arizona applied for like some grant and she got the grant, and that means that she has to move to Africa to work with like the kids over there. Okay, fine. And throughout the whole episode, like, they're arguing about it. But by the end of the documentary, they've decided they're gonna go to Africa together. Like, sure, okay, good for y'all. Speaking of that damn documentary, Shonda, who hurt you? Why did you kill Mandy Moore like that? So Bailey's through line during the documentary episode is that she's actually going to do the surgery on Mandy Moore that she was supposed to do the day of the season 6 finale. But instead of that, we got this. And it goes textbook. And Bailey's like, okay, good. Like, I'm very glad to be done with the surgery. I'm going to go and celebrate, have a drink, like, put this whole shit behind me. But then the camera crew comes back, and it turns out that she just never woke up after the surgery. Like, that can happen. I've never had surgery. But the idea that you could just go in for a normal textbook surgery and then just come out and never come out, like, new fear unlocked? New fear unlocked! April is very quickly becoming one of my favorite characters because she's willing to like call out the regulars for some of the shit that they do. And they were giving her shit because she's a virgin at 28 years old, which good on you, girly. And she was like, all right, I'm a virgin at 28, but like all of you guys are a mess and I would not trade lives with any of you. So, and then they had nothing to say to her. And now she's like part of the group the way that, the People's Finnick O'Dare is part of the group. He is a smarticle barnacle because he has been conning everybody for the last like 3 episodes. Like, he overheard Teddy calling him what is essentially a dumb blonde, like he's not good at his job or whatever. And he was like, you know what? I'm gonna get in on some shit. And he starts like low-key flirting with her, using his attractiveness to get his way. And Teddy's like, no, like, that's awful. Like, why did you do that? You're the one who reduced him to his looks. Like, you're mad that he turned it around on you. Jackson and April, quickly my favorite characters. Second and third favorite, though, because this man stays winning. This man remains goated. So throughout the documentary episode, he is working with this peds patient who has like this tumor in her trachea or something. So they end up coming up with the idea that they build her a trachea from like her own like her own body parts or whatever. Like, and he basically lives at the hospital with this girl to grow her a trachea. And the whole time he's telling the camera crew, like, I do peds because it's hardcore. I do peds because it is like, it's like the cutting edge of medicine, and it's very competitive. He's also very adamant about the idea that he does not like children. And that is immediately undercut by the camera crew kind of like following around just behind him, as he clearly has a rapport with the kids, and the kids clearly like him. And the little girl, like, she seems to, like, I don't know what she was listening to. It was like a Demi Lovato thing, which is weird because Demi Lovato was just on the show. And she can't take her iPod with her into the MRI because, you know, magnets and all of that. So Alex decides, I'm going to get on the mic and I'm going to sing some of these songs. So he pulls up the lyrics and he just starts singing the songs. And the girl's just kind of like, that's silly. But, like, she's smiling, she's laughing, like, or laughing as best she can with a tube in her throat. And then at the end of the documentary, Alex goes to her school with her because she said that he was the best thing about her experience, and she brings him to the school, and I went, ah, my favorite, he's my favorite, is he? How'd you fumble this hard? On a sadder note, the documentary crew actually does sit down with Cristina by herself without Meredith, because Meredith is actually like kind of a buffer between Cristina and the cameras, because when Cristina starts to like, I can't do this, she's just like, can we cut? And then Cristina has like an interview with them on her own that like Meredith isn't in. And she's just like, we're just so blessed. And like, she's just smoke screening like what she's actually feeling, and you can hear the pain in her voice. This woman can act. And then they ask her, like, what did you learn from all of this? Like, what are you taking out of this? And then she just looks directly at the camera, directly at us, and she says, being a hero has its price. And I'm just like, oh, this season's gonna be bleak. On a lighter note, Arizona was making more of an effort to like Mark before this whole Africa thing. And Mark, he didn't even have to hear from Arizona. He knew that Arizona didn't like him. Which, from Arizona's perspective, he is the old-ass man dating 24-year-olds who stares at her boobs all the time. Why would she like him? But at the end of that episode, she's just like, you know what? Change of plans. I'm going out with Mark myself. I want to get to know my girlfriend's best friend. And Mark is like, all right, sure, but you buying. So I was looking forward to seeing this unlikely friendship bloom, but Arizona and Callie are going to Africa. Like, what the fuck? Lexie had like a psychotic break and she's doing better now, and she's making more of an effort to be nice to April, which, good for you, girly. Very proud of you. She's also not dating anybody. She's leaving Alex alone. She is not dating the old ass man. She's winning. Good for you, girly. Anyway, this remains January 16th, 2025, and I am looking forward to continuing this show in its capacity. I don't know what's going to happen to TikTok after next week, but I'm going to end up doing this on YouTube. Like, I will move this format to YouTube and figure out, like, all of that stuff as I go, because I'll figure it out, because I do love doing this, and I like making videos, and I like the feedback and all of that. So no matter what happens to TikTok, I am on YouTube. If you want to see me like continue to do this, follow me there. As of now though, Alex, Jackson, April, Cristina, my kings and queens, I want nothing but the best for them.